So this is what we have. We have an incompetent government that was elected through a rigged election, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. And we all got screwed together, but you know what? We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Together we are standing up against some of the most sinister forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. You could say our country has never seen anything like it. We will end the foreign influence buying of our corrupt political class, and we will make clear that the government of the United States is not for sale. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down. We will fight for more jobs for American families, fair trade for American workers, and more American factories forging more products, stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. We will restore patriotic education to our schools. And we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. To every young person, you represent America's future. You are the best and the brightest, the bravest and boldest, and someday you are going to be setting records like nobody before. I'm telling you, I know it. We will save and strengthen America, and we will fight the onslaught of radicalism, socialism, and indeed it all leads to communism once and for all. That's what it leads to. You'll be hearing more and more about that as we go along, but that's what it leads to. You know that. We will break up big tech, and we will restore the right to free speech in America. We will have free speech again. You're the champions for free thought and free speech, lifting up citizens of every background, race, religion, color, and creed. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. With thousands of proud American patriots who believe in family and freedom, God and country, and by the way, oil and guns. Where generations of farmers and ranchers and sheriffs and lawmen, cowboys and pioneers helped build up the greatest nation in the history of the world, and we will never let any socialist or communist movement take that away from us. And we will make sure those admitted to our country share our values and love our people. Before our leaders talk about invasions of other countries, they need to stop the invasion of this country. Murders are surging. Illegal aliens are pouring in by the millions and millions. There's never been a country that would allow this to happen. You can go to third world countries or fourth world countries. They wouldn't allow this to happen. But they were very good at taking advantage of the United States. Americans were not going to be played for suckers anymore under the Trump administration. It was very clear, and they understood that. And I made clear that if Europe cared about its borders, they would have to pay. They didn't have to pay their bills, do their jobs, or risk their lives. Let the dumb Americans do it for us. What's happening is so bad. It's never been like this. It started a long time ago. It's gotten to a point that's unacceptable. It's going to destroy. Our corrupt media is going to destroy our country if we don't do something about it. Because together, we have to save America. There's never been a time like this. There's never been a time. But no matter how big or powerful these corrupt radicals may be, you must never forget our nation does not belong to them. Our nation belongs to you. Inflation is skyrocketing, gas prices are soaring, supply chains are crumbling. Can you believe what's happening? You can't get anything. The shelves are empty. And right now, you have a president of the United States who is grossly incompetent. Dangerous criminal murderers, they release them from jail, and we do nothing about it but let people come in and we have no idea who they are. The first duty of the American president is to defend the American border. People can come into our country, but they have to love our country and they have to come in legally. It's very simple. And it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again. We want to talk about greatness because our country is angry and our country wants to be respected again. A lot of things going on. To so many wonderful friends, conservatives, and fellow citizens in this room, all across our country. They're fed up with politicians who rig and steal our elections and our wealth, squander our strength, and spill our blood all over the world. And in many cases, for countries that don't even want us there and don't even like us and certainly don't respect us. Our security, our prosperity, and our very identity as Americans is at stake, like perhaps at no other time. We're in the middle of a historic struggle for America's future, America's culture, and America's institutions, borders, and most cherished principles. Take a look at the corporatists. Big tech attack on hardworking citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. And student depression is now commonplace and at levels that we've never seen before. They're cheating the next generation of Americans out of the future that they deserve, and they do deserve this future. They're going to grow up, and they're going to have a scar. Under the new administration, catch and release. Has been restored. Can you imagine? We worked so hard. Illegal immigrants are now being apprehended and released along the entire southern border. You take their name and you release them into our country. We did the opposite. We not only didn't release them, we had them brought back to their country. Under my administration, we stopped the child smugglers. We dismantled the criminal cartels. We greatly limited drug and human trafficking to a level that nobody actually thought was possible, and the wall helped us a lot. And we protected vulnerable people. And we're one country. We can't afford the problems of the world as much as we'd love to. We'd love to help, but we can't do that. So they're all coming because of promises and foolish words. Radical immigration policies aren't just illegal. They're immoral, they're heartless, and they are a betrayal of our nation's core values. It's a terrible thing that's happened. They've been a catastrophe for American workers and for American families. And that's just a small portion of what's going on. They ripped up the diplomatic agreements we negotiated with Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador to shut down illegal immigration. When I came into office, those countries were refusing to take back illegal alien gang members. So I asked, how much do we pay these countries? How much do we pay them? Sir, we pay them approximately $500 million a year. It's a lot of money. I said, okay, we aren't going to pay them anymore because they wouldn't take back the criminals. They wouldn't take them back. No, we don't want them. We'd fly them in, they wouldn't let the plane land. And I said, we're not going to pay them anymore. We stopped payment. And they very quickly came to the table and we made a deal, very quick deal. And when illegal aliens came across our border, they were rapidly deported and lovingly accepted by those countries from where they came.
And we got it done. We're good at getting things done.
And then we
countries and many countries throughout the world because they respected us again. They didn't respect us. They couldn't believe what they were getting away with.
People don't like writing about it because they don't want to give the Trump administration credit. But I'm used to that. I'm used to it. You got to get used to it. You know who knows, though? The people know. The people know.
So no matter how much the Washington establishment and the powerful special interests may want to silence us, let there be no doubt we will be victorious and America will be stronger and greater than ever before. Already the Biden administration has proven that they are anti-jobs, anti-family, anti-borders, anti-energy, anti-women, and anti-science. A lot of new records are being broken in women's sports. Hate to say that, ladies, but got a lot of new records. They're being shattered. The records that stood for years, even decades, are now being smashed. I think it's just crazy what's happening. We must protect the integrity of women's sports. So important. What coach, as an example, wants to recruit a young woman to compete if her record can easily be broken by somebody who was born a man? Not too many of those coaches around, right? It's a very sad and very stupid thing that they're doing. If this is not changed, women's sports, as we know it, will die. They'll end. It'll end. It's not good for women. It's not good for women's sports, which worked so long and so hard to get to where they are. That they are now being forced to compete against those who are biological males. Is that controversial? You know, somebody said, well, that's going to be very controversial. I said, that's okay. You haven't heard anything yet.